have valves when they come in. We have to scan them in and kind of see if there's any issues with them when they come in for repair. And we see if we can read anything off the tests regarding if we can see a problem. And then from there we would start to take it apart, separating the two components and individually assess the parts within and see what we can kind of see.
This is an instrument that like in a refinery, they'll have the wires hooked up to this, then have the supply line. So the guy in the control room will sit here and give it a signal, hey man, we need 25%, which they'll give it your signal and a valve will open 25%, which will be just, you know, just a little bit. It goes in quarters, 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. So that's what this is. Then you got your gauges telling you how much supply you got from the regulator and how much output you got going to your valve as you increase your pneumatic signal or milliamp signal, which transfers into an air signal, which strokes this valve up and down, you know. So you put everything together like a little puzzle, and it works real well. I like it, you know. It's fun to build, it's cool.
I work as a mechanic, which we had a lot of pumps, and I was on an aircraft carrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, and I was in a reactor department.
What makes this work interesting? This work is it's different every day. We don't do the same thing every day. It's always something new. We travel, we get to go see all kind of different things. I've been to gas pipelines, production plants. They've sent me up to Marshalltown, Iowa to visit them kind folks up there, and got my training in up there for level 1 tech. That was a 3-week program, and it was pretty insightful as well as inspiring as to see what can be done as far as growth and development for each individual.
What we do is we train the technicians here on site to go to our customers' facilities. When they go to the customer facilities, they have to know and they have to be understanding in the process, how a chemical plant or a process loop may work. This tool right here allows our technicians to create a process loop within our Delta V control system. We're able to build the graphics, start from scratch, assign I/O, make the actual loop function, and gives them more of an understanding of how a process actually works within a customer's system. We go to another extent. We allow our technicians to dismantle, completely reassemble this loop. There's 2 independent loops on here, one being pressure control loop, one being a flow control loop, and also this loop actually we do hot cutover or hot swaps, which that is converting from a traditional analog system to a Delta V field bus system. Ultimately, we work with the safety systems like this SIS, as well as field bus cutovers, in which we can swap an instrument or train on instruments to where we can change out the instruments without taking the loop back down or shutting the process down.
Where I work in Alberta, it's mostly, we would see these valves within the oil and gas industry, but they are within the medical industry, as well as any process control that is required.
I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations in the shop, troubleshooting, putting product through, as well as all the guys that are in the field. I'll set up the jobs and I'll go through, and if they have any issues, and I'll work with our local business partner and the customer to make sure everything gets done at the end of the day.
And I am testing a valve here for the customers. We are making sure that what is allowed passes. So I introduce 50 pounds of air to simulate the pressure that they put in the refineries through their pipelines. Once I do that, I open my valve to show the customer that it's actually flowing, and then I close my valve so we can see the shutoff. As I do that, you will see here on this gauges exactly what you are leaking, and you know whether it passes or not.
Because of your travel stops. And so like if you have to have it stop in a certain position other than using this, you can adjust these, make sure it goes a full 90 degrees or 60 degrees or whatever the customer wants. And whatever they want, we'll provide.
We have the safety meeting through every shift. We talk about safety, what's everybody concerned about safety, and you know, what improvements we need to make on safety. We started about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and it's just continued ever since, you know, and from shift to shift, no matter what, we have this meeting.